Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the third session of our co-sell coaching series. My name is David Hobbs-Mallion, and I'm a Senior Director in the Commercial Cloud and AI business, focusing on software development companies and the Microsoft commercial marketplace. If you've missed the first two editions of this co-sell coaching series, let me give you a quick overview of what you can expect in these sessions. Our goal is to introduce you to some of your peers in our Microsoft partner community to hear and learn about their best practices they have leveraged to co-sell effectively through the marketplace. We plan to host these sessions monthly, and each session will be 20 minutes, followed by Q&A through the online chat. You can also review the recordings of previous sessions and see information about new sessions by clicking the link we've added to the chat in today's session. I'm excited to host Jonathan Nativ, who is the Senior Director of Strategic Alliances at Silverfort. You'll hear Jonathan share his insights around proven best practices for co-sell execution and how to scale through the marketplace. But before I hand over to Jonathan, I want to take a quick minute to ensure everyone understands what we mean by co-selling. Co-selling, or IP co-selling, to be precise, is a collaborative engagement between Microsoft and its partners to sell products and services together. For example, it could involve lead sharing, driving joint sales cycles, and closing and transacting deals through the Microsoft commercial marketplace. We're adding a link in the chat if you want to learn more about this partner benefit and how to meet the requirements to make your solution IP co-sell eligible. Now, without further delay, let me go ahead and invite Jonathan to introduce his organization and share his insights and best practices with us. Jonathan, thank you for joining us today. Welcome, and please take it away.
Thank you, David, and thank you everyone for joining. My name is Jonathan Nativ, and I'm the Senior Director of Strategic Alliances at Silverfort. In this session, I'll walk you through how Silverfort co-sells with Microsoft and how it helps Silverfort increase the number of deals that we close, as well as close deals faster and close larger deals. But before we get started about talking about co-sell, just a little bit of background on who Silverfort is. So Silverfort is an identity security company that's focused on bringing modern authentication and modern identity security controls to all parts of an enterprise's network. So this includes legacy applications, homegrown applications, on-prem applications, and more. And we are focused both on the human and non-human identities. And we do this with several different products inside of our platform. We have identity security posture management, we have identity threat detection and response, we have MFA, we have an authentication firewall, non-human identities, as well as privileged access security. And Silverfort's goal is to bridge the gap between modern identity access systems like Entra ID and legacy systems such as Active Directory. And now a little bit about how Silverfort got started in the Microsoft ecosystem. So Silverfort started in what is called Founders Hub, which is like the incubator program of Microsoft. From there, we moved into Microsoft for Startups, and today we are a managed partner inside Microsoft. We've also been awarded several awards from Microsoft and been recognized with these awards. For example, we were a finalist in the recent 2025 Excellence Awards from MISA. Last year, we were a finalist at Security ISV of the Year, and we also won last year the Partner of the Year award from Microsoft. So why did we decide to partner with Microsoft? So being in the identity security space, we wanted to partner with the leader in identity, and that is Microsoft with their Entra platform. So that was very important to us. And Microsoft is also the leader in on-premise identity with Active Directory. So both of these things together made it a very easy decision for Silverfort to partner with Microsoft. And why the marketplace? We were seeing more and more customers shifting their buying processes to the Azure marketplace. And it was very important for Silverfort to be able to meet the customers where they want to buy and how they wanted to buy. It helped us to take advantage of commitments that the customers had to Microsoft in the form of MACs, Microsoft Azure consumption commitments. It allowed us to follow the market trends and actually be one step ahead of them with the Azure Marketplace. And most importantly, it provided options to our customers. If they wanted to buy through the marketplace and they had those funds available and it was easier for them to procure that way, we wanted to make the buying process of the Silverfort platform as easy as possible with them. So that is one of the reasons that we invested so heavily in selling through the marketplace. And we've done, in the last 12 trailing months, we've done more than $10 million in marketplace sales. So now let's talk a little bit about our co-selling with Microsoft. So they talk a lot about co-sell as a journey, but I would describe it more as a process. It's very important to understand how to co-sell with Microsoft, to understand the technical aspects, but also to understand the business aspects of co-selling with Microsoft. So it's first of all very important to register all the opportunities that you can with Microsoft, because you can't co-sell what you don't register. So if you're doing this in a manual process by going into Partner Center and registering all the relevant deals, that's one option. And there are also automation tools that will help you to automate this process if you're dealing with a large number of opportunities, where it will take them directly from Salesforce, for example, and upload them into Partner Center. But I highly recommend to open up your pipeline to Microsoft and register every deal that is relevant, register it with Microsoft, even if you don't need direct help on that specific deal. It's about building the relationship with Microsoft, and it's about building the pipeline with Microsoft. The second thing is to understand the Better Together story. Microsoft wants to help their customers. They want to be able to offer solutions to their customers that also increase the adoption of their solutions. Their goal is to sell their products. You need to keep that in mind. It's co-selling. So you need to understand how your solution fits into the Microsoft story, how it can help make their products stickier, how it can help beat their competition, how it can fill a need for their customers to allow Microsoft to be that single platform for all of their customers' security or data, privacy, whatever it is. You need to understand what is that Better Together story with Microsoft in order to get the Microsoft sellers engaged. Because without that Better Together story, it's very difficult to show the sellers what's in it for them. And that goes to the third point, is showing the value to the Microsoft team. At the end of the day, everyone is focused on their job. And with Microsoft sellers, just like any seller, they have certain goals that they need to meet. If you can show how working with your organization will help them meet their goals, either through selling through the marketplace, co-sell activities, beating competition, driving Azure consumption, whatever it is, you need to be able to show that value to the Microsoft sellers in order to get them on board. Because don't forget that Microsoft has tens of thousands of partners that want to work with the Microsoft sellers, that want those introductions to those customers, that want Microsoft to help them close those deals. What's going to differentiate your opportunity and your company from all the other partners that are trying to work with the Microsoft sellers? So it's very important to focus on the Better Together story and the value that you bring to the Microsoft teams. One of the values that you can bring is partner reported ACR or PRACR. It's very important that your product is reporting PRACR. Every month, you need to report through the Microsoft systems the amount of Azure consumption that your organization is using and driving Azure consumption, and then connect that back to the Microsoft sellers. This is a great way that you can directly show value to the Microsoft sellers and help them to meet their goals. So if you're not familiar with PRACR or PRACR, I would recommend reading about it or contact me. I'd be happy to help you. It's very important that you are reporting PRACR. And the last thing is setting up marketplace offers. This is a great way to get the Microsoft team involved and show value to the Microsoft sellers, is by pushing marketplace deals. This is a way that they are getting directly incentivized to help partners. So if the more you are selling through the marketplace and the larger the deals that you're selling through the marketplace, the more you'll be able to engage the Microsoft sellers. And I can tell you from personal experience, once you tell a seller that this deal is going to go through the marketplace, they are 100% engaged to help you close that deal because they see the direct value that it brings to the customer and they see the direct value that it brings to them as a seller. So I'll give a real world example of a customer from the UK in the oil and gas industry that we, from day one, were co-selling with Microsoft. And the reason that Microsoft worked so closely with us on this deal is two main reasons. One, that we were positioned against Microsoft's biggest competition in this specific field. And two, that this deal from day one was going to go through the marketplace due to the fact that this customer had a very large Microsoft Azure commitment. So those two things together allowed the Microsoft team to see the value in working with Silverfort, and they helped us to meet all the decision makers. They helped to provide information that we weren't privileged to about what was going on behind the scenes with the customer, who were the decision makers, what conversations were taking place, and provide us a lot of valuable information so that we could talk to the customer in a way that would help us close the deal as quickly as possible, but also to increase the deal size. So working with Microsoft, we had weekly meetings with them where they were updating us and we were updating them. They were putting in a good word for Silverfort because Microsoft had built a relationship with this customer over the last 30, 40 years. So they knew all the decision makers, they knew who we needed to talk to, and they were making sure that we were talking to the right people. And at the same time, they were talking to the right people behind the scenes about Silverfort and about the value that our product could bring to their organization. And none of this would have happened if we had not registered the deal, if we had not spoken directly to the Microsoft team about the Better Together story, showing them how we could beat the competition, and pushing this deal through the Azure marketplace. So all of those things together got the Microsoft team very deeply involved in this process, and at the end helped us to close this very significant deal for Silverfort. So when we're thinking about co-sell, it's all about the life cycle. You have to register the deal to get the Microsoft team to co-sell with you, push the deal through the marketplace if possible, report on the Azure consumption with the PRACR. That will lead to the Microsoft team wanting to introduce you to more customers and do account mapping, which then again, you register those deals, co-sell marketplace. So it's a circle and you got to keep registering those deals, keep building those relationships to get those introductions to the Microsoft from the Microsoft team. Because the more you can show the Azure consumption that you're driving, the more that you can show that you are helping them to beat the competition and driving deals through the marketplace, the more you're going to differentiate yourself from the other tens of thousands of partners, and the more they're going to want to bring you more customers because they see not only the value to the customer, but of course they see the value to them personally and to Microsoft. So it's all about the circle of life in the co-selling process. So once again, I'm going to talk about the three steps, the three takeaways and best practices, in my opinion, for co-sell. 1, register as many deals as possible. 2, always understand and try and think from a Microsoft perspective, what's in it for them? Why are they going to respond to your email or your team's message? Why are they going to introduce you to a customer? Why are they going to help you and take time out of their day to help you and not somebody else? So think about what's in it for them. The Better Together story is very, very important. And stay up to date. Microsoft is changing all the time. The incentives for their teams, their sales teams, their products, their portfolio are changing all of the time. You have to stay up to date, joining the various office hours, reading the blogs, reading their documentation, going to different events. It's crucial that you stay up to date with the things and how they're changing inside Microsoft so that you can make sure that you stay relevant to the co-sell process. And with that, I'm going to pass it back to you, David, and say thank you to everyone for taking the time to listen to me.
Thank you, Jonathan, for sharing your experience and insights with us today. I loved your examples and how you summarized your best practices. I hope everyone enjoyed Jonathan's talk today as well. We now have some time for Q&A, so please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Also, don't forget to check back for information regarding our next co-sell coaching session. Thank you again, everyone, for your time today, and we're standing by to answer questions in the chat.